Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olipa Katongo Kunda. Forgive the lighting, I'm trying my best to do what I can with the amount of light that I have. Unfortunately, I don't get like a lot of sunlight coming in, but I know for a fact that you can see me, even though I can't see you, but whatever, that's besides the point. So today I just want to get into the video that I said I was going to make the last time I made a YouTube video, and it is regarding or concerning the fact that I relocated to a whole different town. So not only did I move out of my parents' house, I moved out of the town I was born in. So I tried to look for some of my old videos where I talked about this, but I couldn't locate them. I know those of you who've been following me for a while, you may remember some of these videos, but it has always been a dream of mine to live on my own. From when I just left university, I remember thinking and planning towards I want to live on my own at some point in my life. I'd always dreamed of having my own home, even if it was for a short period of time before I got married. Now, eventually, as life went on, as I grew older, that dream died. And by died, I don't mean that I decided that I changed my mind. It was just something that was not a priority anymore. It fell to the back of my mind, right? It became a situation of this doesn't even seem possible. This doesn't seem viable. This doesn't seem like it's beneficial to me or anybody else. So let it just fall back and not be something I think about. And that's what happened to that particular vision of mine. But I recall, is it that last year or it's even this same year? I don't know. At some point, as I was doing my reflections, my journaling and praying, I remembered this and I said to myself, I have let go of some aspects of myself that I had dreamed, that I had hoped for, that I had planned for, that I had wanted. And this was one of those aspects that sort of came to life, and I said, I really wanted this for myself in my younger years. And now when I think about it, I think about it with a different mindset. So in my younger years, when I thought about moving out, living on my own, it was a very exciting thing. But in this year, 2025, thinking about moving out and whatnot made me feel scared. And I remember having a conversation with my sister about it and saying, because my sister and I always used to talk about, we are going to move out, we live together, we're going to, do all this, have our life, blah, 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 before we eventually become wives, before we become moms. And I brought this up to her and I said to her, the thought of me even moving out now is actually giving me fear. It makes me feel scared. It's not the way it was before when I would think about that or plan that and feel excited. Now I feel fear. And we had a conversation around it as to why are you feeling these feelings? What is it that is causing you to feel fear as opposed to excitement or whatever the case may be? And as God would have it, there's a way that God works that just baffles me to date. As God would have it, I think not even 3 months later, I honestly believe that it was within 2 months of me having this conversation with my sister, an opportunity came up for her to move out of Lusaka, right? So the opportunity was for my sister to move out of Lusaka. And when that opportunity came, she was like, girl, this is our time. You've been talking about moving out. Do you know that there'll never be a perfect time? Let's do it now. And when I tell you, I had anxiety. I was afraid. And it was not just fear. Look, my eyes are even tearing up. It was not just fear. I had such mixed emotions. I was afraid of moving out, moving away from my family, moving out of my mother and father's home, moving out of my comfort, going to be on my own, fully independent, because I was already very independent, but being fully independent, taking care of myself from beginning to end, being far away from my parents. And then on top of that, there was shame. So I was afraid and I was ashamed that I was afraid. I felt shame because at 28 years old, you're scared of living alone. At your big age, you're scared of living alone. I was so ashamed to express these feelings and these emotions, and I thank God that my sister and I are so open and so close, and I was able to share these things with her. But it didn't take away the fact that this gave me so much anxiety. It gave me so much fear. But I knew at the same time that it was the right thing for me to do. I knew that I have already spoken about this to God, and this is Him saying, okay, I had already set this in motion for you, and now that you are also ready. Like, you know how, I think I've talked about this before. When you say, may it be done according to your will, it's not just according to His will, you must also align to His will. So I know that it has always been in His will for me, but it came to a point where I had to align. And me now talking to Him about it and saying, Lord, this is something I always wanted, and I pushed it back. I think I really want this for myself. And He says, say no more. He said, baby girl, you don't have to go too far. I got you. And there I was. And you know that I think the worst, I don't know if worst or best part of it is it was so fast. Everything happened so quickly from the moment of, girl, let's do it. I think it was like 2 weeks max. We had to move everything. So we eventually moved, successfully moved. And it has been a very interesting experience so far. Like, I would say that I've not been completely settled into the new town. Into the home, yes, we're settled, but like not fully, but into the new town. Finding my place, finding myself. I'm still going through that journey. But I have this peace of mind, this peace in my heart that everything that's supposed to happen is going to happen. And I was so impressed by how the Holy Spirit worked throughout this process, because even when one of the fears I had also was that when I told my parents, guys, may I want to move out, I really thought they were going to be like, no, you can't move out. Where are you going to? Da, 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 da. You know how it is. I was so surprised by how they were like, oh, really? Okay, cool. Like, you could tell that they were concerned for me. They are still concerned for me, but they were as excited as I am. Maybe even too excited, because my mother packed me out. The day I said, no, me, I'm moving out, she started packing my things, collecting them. I was like, what the hell? It's like she was ready. She had been ready. She was waiting for this moment to vacate me. So yeah, I was really impressed with how the Holy Spirit worked throughout that process. Even in us finding a home, because that was extremely difficult. As you know, finding houses anywhere is hard. So it was really hard, and we've not found our perfect home, but we have somewhere to lay our heads. You know, we have somewhere to call our own. We have a place that we can say, oh, I'm going home, you know, and I'm so grateful to God for that. So all in all, the experience was honestly a testament of God's goodness. It was a testament of my resilience, of my strength, of my mental capacity. It has been a lot, and I think it's still going to be a lot, but I'm so excited. And maybe when like our home is fully furnished, I will do like a nice house tour when I've got all the decor up and everything that I envision for this home. Then we can do a nice house tour, and I can welcome you guys into my home. So yeah, I'm accepting housewarming gifts. Send me housewarming gifts, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yeah, that has been the update on me moving into a new town, into a whole different province. And yeah, that's that. I hope you enjoyed this little, is it a story time, life update, whatever it may be. And if you have any questions or comments, please make sure to leave them in the comment description below. I know a lot of you do come into my like Facebook inboxes. I'm really excited to read all your messages, so keep them coming, okay? Thank you so much. Bye.